Hey guys, the theme for today's eye tutorial is Ice Princess. Yeah, so we're going to be using lots of shimmer. We're going to be using shimmer elsewhere in the face as well, which I'll tell you about towards the end of the video. But it's shimmery, it's fun, it's sort of a wearable twist on a look that could go super dramatic and fun. So I've kind of used some different products, some shimmers, some gel liners in here as well. So I hope you enjoy this look and keep on watching. Step one is to lay down a base on your eye, and for that I'm actually using one of the new shades of gel liner from Coastal Scents. This is Wicked, and it's kind of a just straight up silvery shade, and I kind of forgot I was doing a tutorial at first, and I went ahead and started putting this on, and then I'm like, oh no, wait, you can only do one eye at a time. But basically I'm just taking sort of a flat brush, getting some of that on there and going all over the lid, a little bit into the crease, and right along the inner corner as well, and also underneath. So just kind of surround the eye in that shade. A lot of these new shades are not your typical liner shades like silver and pink and stuff like that. So I consider them to be really good bases because they have that staying power of a liner, but you can put them all over your lid. So that's what I'm starting out with to get that initial kind of silvery, light shimmery tone to the lids. And then the next thing I'm going to do is go for my palette. It's called Milla's Blues. It's one of those celebrity palettes from L'Oreal. And this is very similar also to that Smashbox palette I was talking about that I used on Kaylee in that other video. So another drugstore dupe option on that would probably be this palette. There's also Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips and Smoky Blue Eyes is one that I told her to pick up to kind of duplicate that look as well. So anyway, I'm just going to use one of the sponge tip applicators here because I want packed on color at this point, and I'm going to go for this lighter shade of blue right down here. It's still sort of a medium blue though, and I'm going to just pack this on top of our pretty silver shade. So we're ending up with a really kind of light shimmery blue all over. And once I've got that on the lid, I'm going to take a fluffier brush. This one is from Revlon. It's a contour shadow brush. I found it at Big Lots actually a while back. And get some of that shade on that brush and just use that to get it in the crease and actually bring that shade up just a little bit. Just like that. Okay? Alrighty, next we're going to go for our darker shade, which is, of course, that darker blue here in the palette. Both shades have shimmer to them, so that helps just kind of keep the shimmery, icy look to this whole eye tutorial. I'm taking my Essence of Beauty Fine Crease Brush. Those are available at CVS. Get a little bit of that color on there, and we are going to go the whole length of our crease with this. So I'm going inner corner, getting it right there in the crease and trailing it along to our outer corner. We're not doing an outer V here, we're just following our natural crease. So wherever that takes you, that's where you want to put this. I'm kind of looking down into a mirror also to get that color in my crease. I'm looking down, and that way I can almost see the full effect of my eye as I look down and do this. So inner corner to outer corner, just really get it in there and kind of blend up just a bit, but you know, it doesn't have to be too overdone with this. And right down there in the inner corner. Then take another bare fluffy brush, use that to kind of buff over the edge. That way you get a really, really smooth blend on that. The next thing I want to do is do some real accents with this look with a couple of loose shadow shades. The first is a really, really icy light blue shade from Everyday Minerals called Wood Sorrel. And I used this back in my fall Everyday Minerals tutorial. And just get a little bit of that on a fluffy brush and just kind of carefully sort of pat that along all the way to the brow bone. What's interesting about this is that you are going to get a little bit of a bluish tone to your highlight, which is something I almost never would do, but for this look it's really, that's kind of the change in this look and making it look different from other looks, is that, you know, you're bringing blue into it all the way up, you're including color the whole way through. And we're going to take another loose shade just to accent some colors up around the brow, but also around the inner corner of the eye. And that is the NYX Ultra Pearl Mania in Pearl. This kind of comes off as a slightly pinkish shade, but anyway, I'm going to take my little tiny detail brush from Coastal Scents and get some of that. It kind of dips right down in there pretty easily. Kind of tap some off on my hand here. And what we're going to do is just go in and kind of get some of that applied right in here. Really just getting it right up under the inner half of the eyebrow. And then we want to do some more of that right in here on our ultimate inner corner. And we're going in and we're going all the way down and around. Okay? There we go. Next thing we want to do is work on our liner a little bit, and I'm going to use another one of those pretty gel liners. I love this shade. This is so gorgeous. Oops, I just opened the one I just used. Just a second. Some of these are just the most unique colors. I love that about it. This shade is Stellar. It's a black with a really like multi-dimensional sparkle to it, like different colored sparkle. It's so pretty. It's like a charcoal gray with shimmer and then some sparkle as well. So perfect for the look we're going for today. So I'm going to take my Smashbox number 21 brush. It's becoming like my favorite brush for the cream and gel liners. And get some of that shade on there. And what we're going to do is go basically almost halfway in right here on the top. And kind of halfway in here in terms of the application, and then we're going to take a Q-tip and smudge it further in on the bottom. So basically, get that shade laid down right here on the outer half. You can make it a little thicker if you want. It doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to go in and do a little smudging to it. Make it seem a little less harsh and intense because this is a really, really soft look. So I'm going to take my Q-tip. Do this, you know, I wouldn't advise you to go ahead and do all of the liner and then try to smudge it. I would do it one part of the eye at a time because keep in mind this isn't a cream shadow, this is a liner, and you know, when it dries it won't be nearly as smudgeable anymore. So just a reminder there. So there we are, just kind of getting a softer twist on that shade right there in the outer corner. And then we're going to continue that on the lower lash line as well. We're connecting, but we're not really doing a big winged out thing. We're just getting out to the corner in terms of making a connection there. And then we're running it about halfway underneath, a little more here. These brushes like this, you can see that this is a little more flexible, and so this is going to give you a little less, even though it's a very tiny brush, it's going to give you at times a slightly less precise, exact line just because it is more flexible than those really stiff angled brushes that you might find. So again, go in with your Q-tip. We're going to smudge the outer part of that. And continue to kind of smudge it in as much as you want. Next, I want to take my Taklon liner brush from Coastal Scents, again in the sort of opposite from that other brush, a little more precise, and I'm going to go to the dark blue shade back in my palette, and I'm going to just top off what I've done liner-wise with that. So it's going to give it more of a blue tone, but I'm going to also use that to take things in a little bit closer on my lower lash line. I know it seems like kind of a lot of steps for this look, but you know, if you don't like doing all these steps, you just do as many steps as you want. You do not have to do exactly what I do. Okay, so I've got that on into the inside. Give yourself a look now and just kind of make sure that you've got, you know, you've got highlights where you want them, you've kind of got the low lights. For me, I might on this eye go a little bit deeper in the crease, just with a little more of that blue. Next, I'm going to curl my lashes. Then I'm gonna apply my L'Oreal Telescopic Explosion Mascara. It's sort of a dupe for that Givenchy mascara that's just the little bitty like sphere there at the end. And I usually don't show my mascara application, but I am kind of just trying this out, testing it, seeing if I like it, and I wanted to let you see kind of how the application would go with this. The idea, at least the way they're kind of marketing this, is as you know, you can get to the lashes from any angle. Like you could hold the brush way up like this and really kind of get the separation there. It's great, I can tell, for getting right here in the corner. And I'm getting some decent length out of this too. It does kind of remind me, I mean, my look that I'm getting off of this is kind of similar to that of the regular telescopic. It's just a different way of getting it on, it seems like. So I'm just getting a little more on there. Yeah, it is kind of good for getting every last little lash. And also on the bottom. I wonder what would happen if I just did that. Oh, a little clumpy there on that one part. Anyway, kind of a cool concept. I'm not sure. Sometimes mascaras kind of, like, I start to like them a little more the more I use them, or as the formulation gets a little less wet and more creamy as you use mascaras. But this is definitely the easiest way to get into your inner corner lashes, and it is cool that you can kind of use it from any direction. Hey everyone, I'm back with my finished Ice Princess inspired eye tutorial. It's really fun, and it's just a wearable twist on something that really could be made a lot more dramatic for, say, Halloween, or just any like special event or fun dress-up thing you were doing. The one step that I forgot to include there that I remembered right before I came back on is I lined my inner waterline with white on this. So that kind of adds to the sort of vertical nature of this, kind of building your look by your lashes kind of coming up like this. We're not going so much out, but we're working right within the eye a lot, and it's going to make your the whites of your eye seem bigger because they're blending right in with that white that you've got on the waterline. So I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, this is an easy look to achieve. I kind of took a lot of steps in terms of getting the shimmer on there, but it's really not that difficult. In terms of the face, that's another thing you want to think about with this. Apply whatever you want to do foundation wise, and then I put on a little bit of bronzer. I used my Rimmel natural bronzer in Sundance because it has a little bit of shimmer to it. And I kind of wanted to keep with the shimmer for this look anyway. And then I used my e.l.f. all over cover stick or not cover stick, color stick in Lilac Petal. So it's a light shimmery creamy shade, and I kind of ran that up on my cheekbones and a little bit kind of over my eyebrows, down my nose, a little bit on my chin, and on my sort of Cupid's bow area of my lips. And then to kind of go over that and set that off, I used my Benefit 10 bronzer and highlighter. I used the highlighter side just to kind of play off that shimmer even more. Then on my lips, I used the NYX Harmonica lipstick, which is a very, very light frosty pink. And I went over that with, where is it? Okay. The e.l.f. Hypershine Lip Gloss in Fairy, which is sort of just a very light pink, just as you would think fairy, kind of just makes that nice light shimmer to your lips that would really be pretty with a lot of other like smoky eye looks as well, I think. So thanks guys for tuning in for this video. I hope you enjoyed sort of a different twist on an eye look for me, and have a great day.